man himself is here. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good.
May we know your name?
My name is Makonjo Olaide Adedeji.
Where are you from?
Osun State.
What part of Osun State?
I'm from Malaysia.
All the way from Malaysia, and you're here in the cold city. What brought you here?
Well, I think that's a long story. I'm here by destiny.
Can you please cut it short? Let us know. Let's know the story. How you left Yoruba land and came all the way to Enugu, and you're doing amazing stuff in fashion.
Wow. Well, my dear, it's a long story, like I said before now. And in a man's life, God has always have a purpose. Been in Enugu for over 2 decades now. I came here in 1998, April precisely. It has been destiny, and that's been tremendous. It has been a plus. I have no regret of being in Enugu State.
I see what you're wearing. Tell us about it.
Oh, Olaske as a brand was giving birth to over 20 years now. And one thing I can say about Olaske is that we are unique. We are not just a fashion house. We are dynamics by skill. And what has kept us going, if I'm to say, in fashion industry, is passion. Fashion kept us ahead and make us to hunt for more. We always believe one thing, there's always a better day ahead of us. Why? Because of the passion. And if I'm to talk about what I'm wearing, it gives me joy. Not for only me alone. When I see a client wearing a brand all over the world, wherever I smile, just like this morning, I saw one of my clients was wearing my brand. I was fulfilled. That wow, and we are doing well.
That's great. That's great. Fashion. Fashion is a global multi-billion-dollar industry. Southeastern Asian countries are making billions of dollars annually from just fashion. What can you tell us about that? Do you think fashion can do the same for Nigeria?
Yeah, globally, fashion is wow. One of the fastest industry globally after food, because you should know that as long as you are alive, you must eat. And the same thing, the same scenario happen in fashion. No matter how poor you are, you must cover your nakedness. Even the madman in the street. So being a fashion is an advantage for whosoever that care to go to a better, because I remember when I was to learn this, at least that was 94, after my secondary school, my dad said there's no money to forge ahead, go and learn a trade. I think he was suggesting a mechanic, my mom carpentry. But this, what I'm doing today is fashion. I chose it by myself. Why? Because I love being creative. So when I to choose a skill, I chose this over 27 years now and went for it 3 good years. Many people ran away, but I told myself I'm not going to end up as just an apprentice. I'm going to end up as being a boss. And that was not the end. That was 97, round up to 97. Went to Lagos to get a job. For the whole Lagos, Maryland, your daughter area. Went to Dumota. They'll be asking you for certificate. No certificate in Lagos, they will not employ you as a professional. Went back home. By December, somebody was looking for who to work with. And a friend of mine, both in Abuja, in Kaduna, in Enugu. So I chose one. One of my guys, I can't forget his name. I keep telling God that's my destiny helper. Rufus by name. And refer me to someone that brought me to Enugu, Mr. Biodun. We're all in Enugu together. He's in Adelabu Street. And came around December period and asked me, will I go with him? There has a shop in Enugu. I said, well, let me pray about it, which I did. And I prayed about it. And by April 1998, I find myself in Onitsha. Went to buy a machine. From there we moved down to Enugu, and that was it. And the funny thing is that I could remember my mom those days. Don't go to Igbo land. Igbo people, they do eat people. But even I remember that morning, she was telling me that don't fight with them, don't play with them. I said I did not human beings. But when I arrived in Enugu, the first street in Enugu that I arrived was Adelabu Street, 35 Adelabu. But I was sitting there, like God, they see the way they are relating with my boss then, Abiodun and his friend. So even look like them. So Abiodun, they start calling me Abiodun, like we start rapport. But it was not easy because of language barrier. But with time, I decided to blend with them. I would become the best of friends. Work with him like 1 year plus. From there, I work with one of his brother. Just like 5 years, I worked 5 years in Enugu State. By July, at almost the same month now, July 2020, 2002, July 15 precisely, I will be able to open a last skill, and it has been glorious. Every day we keep learning, and one day I remember that 2002, I was trekking from my former shop, Bodman Street, to Kenyatta. I was going to church. Something just ministered to me, say, do you know you guys are his personality? It was a personal that, do you know you are the one beautified image of God? And my mentality about fashion changed. Because then we are just doing fashion for a living, just eat from hand to mouth. You never believe that we can build a house, buy cars and train people. But after that moment, my mentality about fashion changed. Realize that being in fashion is an advantage. Today, it is not the fashion we learned yesterday we are doing today. It has been higher. Today we can transport where our brand has been to, that I've never been to, the farthest country, Australia. You can imagine. So London, America, many places, South Africa. Why? Because fashion is doing well.
So essentially your work speaks for itself.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Like I always tell people, good work speak for itself. When that's another advantage. It's not just being fashion. You must have a quality of sewing. Like I always say, the difference is in the detail. We have many tailors, we have designers, but what makes it different is when your detail are standard. Good work will make more referrals. So I used to tell my apprentice, my workers, whatsoever you are doing, make sure you do it well. It will definitely speak for you tomorrow. And that's what has been happening. Many of my clients are outside country. We don't even know ourselves. That's one woman, Mrs. Gloria, only through Instagram. I've been sewing for her. I've never met her. We've been doing thousands of dollars, euro of business. But you give them that your work is good, it's good.
So, Mr. Makanjala, we all know in life there are sowing seasons and there are reaping seasons, right? So before you came to this point of your professional life where you're reaping the, fruits or the harvest of your hard work, you had to go through the learning process. Was it difficult for you?
One thing I know about success in life, success is not an easy journey. I won't say difficult, and I won't say it was easy, but it was determined to succeed. That's the only thing I can say, because I can remember then, signed a 3 years apprenticeship between 94 to 97. It was, being from West. West and East are not the same kind of training. It's hard training. They will let you realize that you are here to be trained, and so that's why I say it's determination or choice. Because I could remember who led me to this. Even when I came in from Oshogo to Ilesha, I saw a friend of mine, one of our tenant's son, Femi by name. I do see the young man going out every morning. I asked him, Femi, where are you going to? Say he's learning how to sew. I said, wow, that's what I'm about to go in for. And he took me to my boss. Signed 3 years. 2 of us continued. It was even 2 of us. About 26 people have graduated. So it was only 2 of us that together, and one other man that was working with my boss, Mr. Yomi. And at the end of the day, as life goes on, 2 months, 3 months, it was difficult because of company. We lived together in the same house. We were meant to resume work by 8 o'clock, but Femi will still be on the bed, rolling on the bed. Sometimes we won't go to work, I'll be discouraged. I won't go. Whenever you get back to work, my boss used to have a lala, a kind of cane. We'll flog, we'll put it under the sun. People will be pleading and pleading. Sometimes me and him will go to park, do conductor from Malaysia to Lagos. But along the line, the body was too much. I have to tell myself, I say, even though we're twins, we have a different destiny, but we're just a friend. So I left him and I went back to my training, and that was it. And before you know it, I started giving birth by having junior. We rise to at least up to 12. I became the Amobiara of my boss. I became the overall senior, and that was it. My boss has a farm. We go to farm every Monday during rainy season. My boss has 3 sons there. We go to our house every Monday, wash. My Oga's wife has a provision shop. I'll be the senior, being the overall senior. We go to market, we go and buy all this. It was not easy. Some of them will close by 6, but being the overall senior, my Oga will come back from Koyari as a senior man. And also, I will stay back in the night. You have to be watching. So that there will be no light. You use candle. You have to use the candle, and you make sure that the candle must not touch ground. The dropping of the candle will drop in your hand. Sometimes you'll be dozing. If your guy notices, you carry salt, you hit your head. But all these things, I was facing it. in the learning process, there are a lot of people that will come in 2 weeks, 6 months. Some of them are at the verge of landing up, they will jump out. But I told myself, I will not end up like others. Unknown to me that my boss was watching. It was so difficult, learning with hunger, but I told myself I will graduate well. Along the line, when I get to 2.5 years or more, I jump out. That morning I ran out of the shop, went to my mom's house, told my mom that I'm done, the wahala is too much. Well, the issue was that if anything lost in the office, I'll be the one to pay. If any cloth got burned, I'm not the one that burned the cloth. So the difficulty, I said I'm no longer interested. At least I've learned the work. I was thinking that my mom will support me. And the woman just moved quietly closer to me and hit me on my cheek, slapped me, and sent me back. 2 of us went back to my boss, started me down, pleading with my brother that we are the one at fault. I'm sorry. From there, I was able to manage the 6 months and also an additional 6 months for him by working for him. And that was it. I was able to graduate, but it was not easy. Trekking, to eat was an issue. Even there was a time I burnt material. I had to go for farming for like 1 month, just 800 naira material, one safari material. I burnt the pocket. I had to go to the river, start bringing sand. And 1 tipper of sand there was 200. From that 200 naira, you eat, you transport yourself. So I did it for like 1 month for me to return the 800 naira back to my boss. And that was it. And the day of the graduation, that's when I knew that all this seed, you have an harvest. But I never knew that I served the man very well until the day of graduation. At least I did my graduation 2nd January then. It was on record. We did a video and until tomorrow I can still watch it. I am the only one that my boss used Bible to bless. He said it, I didn't know. He said he has graduated like 26 ahead of me. But I'm the only one that used to open the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 from 1 to 14 to bless. And today, like, the blessing is speaking, and since that 2000, over 20 years plus now, the blessing is speaking. See, there is no glory without story. You must pass through ordeals of life, and that's what makes you stronger. And today, you can see me telling my story. Like I always said, that if I didn't graduate well, you will not meet me here.
Without you telling us now, we wouldn't have known a little bit of your story. So, your brand, Ola Skills Design. I know Ola is your name,
Yes.
but what led to that Skills Design?
I didn't give the name by myself. It was the same place I find myself at Adelabu Street. That was 1998, 99, 2000, 2001. Like I told you before now that one of the things that led me to fashion was looking good. I wasn't doing it just to make, I never knew that I would make money. The way I used to dress. Big guys, I can remember some of them, Chinedu and Koyeka. So whenever I'm coming out from the house or around the street, just hailing me, Ola Skill. So what they will call Ola School. Just hailing me. When the business was about to be established, so I'm now looking for a name. I'm like, which name am I going to bear? Somebody just say, start bearing Ola Skill. So I now went to the dictionary, what is skill? So I started studying about skill, Ola, how to combine it. Despite they have been calling me Ola Skill. So I wanted to know the meaning of it. Was it related to what I'm doing? So I went deep, and lo and behold, I find out that skill just simply means being creative. You now become Ola Skill Designs. So that was it, and the name alone has really given us an edge in Enugu State.
You don't have any regrets?
I have no regret, sincerely speaking, not because, like I always said, my fulfillment in life is not money. Because I could remember when I started the journey, it was not easy. I think I need to talk about it too, to encourage others oncoming fashion houses. That's why I always tell them, if you want to learn this, learn what is your passion, what you are gifted in doing. Don't just learn because people are making you learn this, because then I can remember about 27 years ago, when you say you are a tailor or a designer, they don't recognize you as a human being or as a person, like a forgotten person. I could remember my bishop, when they go and make clothes for him. I was so opportune to make some dresses for him when he came to Enugu 5 years ago. But could remember those days when you say you are learning how to sew. But now we're the one, you see how fashion has gone.